Next up, we have Raul Sanchez. Raul is the former City of Redmond, Washington Poet Laureate. He teaches poetry both in Spanish and English through the Seattle Arts and Lectures Writers in the Schools program and the Jack Straw Cultural Program. He volunteered for Pongo Teen Writing at the Juvenile Detention Center. His second collection, When There Were No Borders, was released by Flower Song Books in McAllen, Texas, recently in July 2021. Everyone, please welcome Raul Sanchez.
That means, so at a certain age, certain things become more difficult. But I manage. Don't look at that. That's part of it. Not paying attention. All right, thank you, Greg, and all the familiar faces. Some of the ones I've seen here and there, just about everywhere. So this is the new book. Last year it came out in the middle of the COVID, and I couldn't do what you do when you get a new book, right? So I did my best, and I got lots of them for sale. All right. Solstice, right? Winter farewell. The waning winter hangs onto the new spring, tight like cliff hangers on tall rocks. Bees and bumblebees hide away from the cold wind, butterflies and finches absent. However, the raucous crows demand scraps, leftover fries, pizza bones. I rub my cold hands, adjust my scarf around my neck, clutching house keys to get me back in next to the hearth. and glow of my warm house. The hearth and glow of my warm house. Meaning, for the last 8 months, we've been having the heater on almost every night. Let's see, from the new book. So nature, here we are, and I have a few nature poems translated in English and Spanish. These were for a project, for the Shoreline project, Voices in the Forest, it was called. So I'll share with you this one, Ode to an Oak Tree, but I'll only give you the English version, if that's okay. It is an epigraph by Thomas Carlyle. When the oak is felled, the whole forest echoes with its fall. When the oak is felled, the whole forest echoes with its fall. But 100 acorns are sown in silence by an unnoticed breeze. Acres of aging grand trees on the lower ground, boughs bending, rising and falling with the wind, randomly sinking and fainting, responsive bird songs, dry ground covered with heart-shaped leaves and twigs. At night, the trees on the higher ground cast their shadow under the clear moonlight. Your branches blown by the east-west wind, secrets told when the birds can't sleep. Full moon filled with countenance, dense, murky clouds, wreaths of fragrant pines. Oak and cedar limbs swish with the wind, brushed. Your very old mystical greatness stands. Looking at the stars and the gorgeous clouds in summertime, your sun-drenched splendor shelters birds hanging on your moist branches, crows, blue jays, chickadees, and eagle nests. Nakedly standing in spring, your dormant roots thaw below the frozen ground. Do not say that the roots are weak. These roots are strong, the very roots of being. And I've been sharing this poem with the kids because I had to tell them, you got roots just because everything looks different on the outside, all the trees, they're all beautiful, just like us, we all look different, right? Our roots are in the ground, so we're all connected underneath where we can see. Why can't we see that, humans? It's a question, big question. I would like to ask a lady to help me with this poem, the volunteer. 1, 2, 3, it's easy. All you need to say is one word. Anybody? I'll ask a guy, but the female voice is better in this case, because that's the purpose of this poem. Hello. But I don't remember. Okay, so can you stand on my right side?
Yes.
Okay. So you're gonna read that. So I say silence and read
Okay.
that. And I go here and read that.
Okay.
Okay. This is called Silent Silence, a poem for two voices. Silence,
Quiet murmur.
palpitation,
Silent heart.
silent,
Wind breeze.
women,
Walking.
distant,
Silence.
a thought,
Evoked.
silent wind,
Quiet sails.
silent shores,
Silent waves.
silent dawn,
Silent warmth.
silent trees,
Wave.
silent branches,
Sway.
silent birds,
Glide.
dawn down,
In silence.
silent hills.
Silenced.
I close your
Silent eyes.
body,
Silenced.
lifeless,
Silent.
silenced,
Sealed.
silently,
I murmur.
a prayer
Of love.
in your right ear.
Silenced.
Thank you. So there is some heavy stuff in here, but I think I'm gonna skip it. But I like to share something funny. I do. The first people ask me sometimes, "So who is the first poet you ever heard from?" I say, "Well, I don't remember." But after I doing some research on my background, I realized that one of my father's customer at his restaurant in Mexico City, it was a writer, political writer. His name is, or was, still is in a way here, Renato Leduc. His father was French, his mother was from Oaxaca. So as a little kid, you know, this man looked huge, big, and you know, he was a writer, and he a fiction writer, poet, stories. Anyway, I love this poem because I can connect with it, and I will read you the Spanish, the English translation that I did, and some of us are Irish probably relate to it. Here we go. The Passing of the Years by Renato Leduc, and my translation. I am not glad nor scared about the senile condition thing. I live quiet and comfortable in winter and spring. Lady friends and chums give me the gift of their ease, and yet I do not feel the outbreaks of my deadly disease. With effort and decorum, from stranger eyes I keep natural decay, passing years sneaked. Natural decay I hold of many, so many years. Cannot be healed with gold. It gets easier with guts, not tears. It all starts when your eyebrows elongate. While we lose our sight, women don't give a damn, let alone a date. While your testicles lengthen and your penis shortens, the longing makes you sad, and that shyness fucks you up. In the northern mountains, a peasant pontificates. Do not belittle yourself or come up short. Don't even think walking into a drugstore. And then your teeth rotten and your skull looks bald. Oh, I hope my rope won't snap. This is the last tug. And death comes. One day has to come. And since you're no longer strong, to hell with it. Sleep where you belong. Renato Leduc, my translation. Thank you, guys.